I flew to Hong Kong and I attended the biggest adult toy fair in the entire world. I picked the best 15 toys that they had over there. I went ahead and I tested each and every one of them, and in today's video I'm gonna tell you which one was the best and which one was the worst, because surprise surprise, the ones that were the most expensive were not actually the best. So if you don't want to waste your money, watch this video till the end. So I'm gonna start with the more basic ones and I'm gonna work my way up to the most advanced ones. And by the way, if you would like to see the actual test of using those toys on myself, it's already posted on my OnlyFans page. The link is gonna be in the description of this video below. So starting from number one right here, to be honest, it was very basic. It's very similar to the Fleshlight, however, it has some vibration inside. It really doesn't have that many features. I wouldn't really go and spend my money on it. It's just a generic toy. For the number two, and that was a bit similar to the number one. However, the main difference was that you can actually squeeze here and change the space that is inside. To be honest, it wasn't that great. It's just another sleeve. Doesn't have that many features, doesn't stroke, doesn't spin. Next up is this toy right here that looks like the Handy, however it's a bit quieter and a bit stronger. To be honest, just like I did not like the Handy, by the way I tested it but I didn't want to make a video about it because it really wasn't that great. This one is no better. I just don't like this whole stroking mechanism. Very difficult to hold while the motor is on, and even when you manage to hold it, the feeling is not that great. So those three, forget about them. With number four, my issue is that my girth was a bit too much for this toy. Keep in mind, my girth is a bit above average. I'm at 5.5 inches of girth. So the motor of this device was actually struggling with my girth, especially when I push it in. So it really wasn't great and it's not for me. Next we have number 5, 6, and 7. And the reason I'm talking about them all at once is because they were very similar. They have two modes. One is vibrating and the other is stroking. Most of them were really struggling. So the motor inside was really not that strong, at least not for me. And the feeling, even when it worked, wasn't really that great. So I'm gonna skip on those ones. Number 7 actually wasn't that bad. The vibration was pretty strong in it. However, the downside is that it only had a feature of stroking. Now, something that I realized is that you want a device that has the stroking and spinning. And so this one did not really have it. It was good, but there's gonna be much better ones. Afterwards was this tiny device. Again, had similar functionality, which is basically the stroking. The motor again was very good on this one. However, I really did not feel it. For some reason, if the stroking doesn't have a good fit inside, you simply don't feel it, doesn't bring a lot of pleasure. And so this one wasn't the one for me. This huge O-Touch one, actually I had really high hopes for it because it looks so big, so advanced. However, the functionality again was very basic. So it has only one button and has a touch screen here. And the only feature it has is it strokes inside. And the stroking really wasn't that good. Maybe the fit wasn't great. And especially considering the fact that it's one of the expensive ones, I honestly cannot recommend it. Now, I had really high hopes for this one as well. And the reason for that, it looked great on paper. It has so many features. The base of it actually has the option to sterilize the inside. So it has ultraviolet light and it also has heating that you can warm the inside of it. They both don't work that great. I never felt the heating. And then when I turned it on and I started using it, I realized that the stroking is really very weak. So the motor was really struggling with my girth and it's basically useless for me. And it's a very expensive device, so I wouldn't recommend it. Now let's talk about the top 3 devices. I think they're all pretty good. However, some is better than the other. So first of all, this device is super cool. And the reason for that is I love the way it opens like this and then you can just hold it. It's very convenient to hold. You have the buttons placed in the right spot so you can just click them while you're holding it. The vibration was pretty strong. The stroking was also very good. And something I really like about it is that you can take out the sleeve and you can just wash it and you don't have to worry about the device. I can't say that about this one, for example. So really was a great device. The only downside is it's only stroking and it's not spinning. However, the texture inside, everything was really good. Keep in mind, this one is very expensive. It's almost 300 bucks. So to be quite honest, I'm not really sure it's worth the money. However, this was one of the good ones. Next up is this one right here, and I have mixed feelings about this one. On one hand, the feeling of it is pretty cool because it has like a couple of silicones on the side and they move in opposite directions and they basically rub the body of your D. So the feeling is really quite unique compared to the other toys that I have right here. However, the feeling was not really that intense for me to kind of finish with it. And the reason for that is I don't think that the fitting of the inside is actually tight enough. On top of this, I have a huge problem with this one is it feels like a one-use kind of device. And the reason for that, imagine you came inside of this. How the hell are you supposed to clean it? I really have no idea. Like, you can't really just put water inside and wash the whole things inside. I think it would break the whole thing. And it has so many moving parts, and over time I assume it's just gonna get really sticky and nasty. So the concept is really great, but the implementation, not really sure about it. And that's why I put this device in number 2. It's great for a one-time use, but then once you want to clean it and use it again, it's a huge hassle. Now to the number 1, and to be honest, this device, I didn't think much of it. When I got it, I thought it's just like the most basic device. Why would it be any good? But I was very, very surprised. The reason for that is it has everything I want in a device. So number 1, the motor, very strong, did not struggle at all. Secondly, it has a vibration that is also very strong and noticeable when you turn it on. It has the 2 features that I love, which is the stroking and the spinning, and it's also easy to clean because you can remove the inside silicone cup and you can just wash it and put it back, unlike other devices where you have to wash the whole device when you use it. And the best part is actually one of the most affordable devices, only $150. So compare that with this one right here, 300 bucks almost, again, almost 300 bucks, and they were all not that great. So this one, amazing device. I'm probably gonna keep this one out of all of them, to be honest, because the gap was actually quite big. Like, I could really notice how much better this one felt compared to the rest of them. So there you have it. Those are literally the best toys you can buy on the market right now. And this one, in my opinion, is the best one out of all of them. If you'd like to get it, make sure to check out the link in the description of this video below. And again, if you'd like to see them in action and see my true reaction to each and every one of them, that's going to be on my OnlyFans page. The link is going to be in the description as well. I want to see you in the next video. Bye-bye.